So having acquired the information, the images and videos, we can then process the videos. In this case, I either sit around the patient at the laptop, or in this case, we'll run through the diagnosis and the tests with the patient, because the IDRA gives us that opportunity to inform the patient exactly what the condition of their eye is. So let's start with the interferometry, the first of those tests. We can see the video being acquired. We want to process the image, so we click on the little cog, the green area, and it's analyzing the lipid layer thickness. We can see here from the information screen, we can describe to the patient that the lipid layer, the oily layer, is the very front layer of the tears that stops the evaporation. So we're measuring that thickness. The processing has allowed us to analyze a series of blinks here, and it's doing so and giving us a drop down of 5 different blinks. We can see that there's an average or the lowest level of tear lipid layer, which is 88 microns. So we can click and save that, or we can go on to the we can save the average value, the minimum value, or we can come on to the advanced section as well. Okay. So clicking on the advanced section, we click on the one that we want to acquire and save. From this same video, we can look at the dynamic nature of the blink. Sometimes the lids don't fully close and we get a partial blink. Mario, you did a great job here of blinking and closing the eyes completely during each and every one of your blinks. A lot of people will leave the eye exposed by 20% and that area would dry out, but that's great. We can see also the fringes, the colors of the lipid layer here. So we're just analyzing that. Let's go on to the next test, which is the non-invasive tear breakup time. We have the Placido ring, and we can analyze this again by clicking on the green little cog button, and it's analyzing the tear breakup. It's quite a large image, video, so it takes a small amount of time to show, but you can see the area here is illustrating the area of the cornea that is breaking up. So in Mario's situation, we have a period of 4 seconds where the tears are okay, and then the tear starts to break up. We have a 4-second first breakup and a more complete breakup at 8.5. We understand that in most people's interpretation of the tears, the tear blink is every 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds. So a non-invasive tear breakup time, any greater than 10 seconds is okay, and less is going to be consistent with a dry eye. So the initial breakup is 4 seconds. So let's save that, click save. And do we want to go to measure the tear meniscus height? So from the same video, we can choose a frame. Let's choose one of the earlier frames here, select the frame, and we go through a process of calibration of the device. So we put the green area over the pupil. You can see the adjustment there. Click save, and then magnifying and coming down onto the tear meniscus, that tear prism, we can allocate the top of the tear and the lower lid margin. In this case, we have 0.66 of a millimeter, which is a very large tear volume. If we come out to different areas along the lower lid, we can see that reduces. This gives us an illustration that Mario's tears, the quantity of the tears is great. But this is suggesting that if his eye waters from the nasal area, it could be that the puncta, the drainage system, is closed. It could also be just reflex tearing. But we can analyze this and we can choose to save a particular image, and we process that. Okay? We have the little icon here, which is the traffic light system. Green is good, red is poor. So let's go on to the next examination, which is meibography. we've not analyzed this yet. So again, to analyze and process the image, we go on the green cogs. This highlights the area, automatically highlights the area where the meibomian gland should be. And it gives us an opportunity also to amend that area. So in this case, we have that. We can see that the automated calculations suggest a meibomian gland loss of 22% over that area. But we can save that, and we can go for further processing of the three-dimensional image. So Mario, this is the glands in the lower lids that produce the oils. We can see that the glands have really nice flow of the glands here. We have potentially a loss of the glands over this area. If you lose those glands, you're not going to produce the quantity or quality of the lipids, the oils that need to stabilize the tear. Let's have a look at this in more detail. We can see that this is a gray area. It's not well defined. The glands are not well defined as they are here. So what we can do is we can suggest that this area is a zone of non-proliferation of the meibomian glands, and is there any treatment that we could offer to help to improve the condition and keep what is currently there. Let's then go back to the main screen. We can look at Bulba Redness. So if we click on the Bulba Redness, this is a new technology which allows us to analyze the redness of the bulbar conjunctiva and the blood vessels here. We can see an illustration here of what the process is, and again this can be processed and analyzed within the instrument itself. Let's go back to the main screen. This gives a composite score. We actually have the structure, the anatomy of the meibomian glands. We have the quality of the lipids, and we also have the blink dynamics. This is fairly unique within the analysis of tears. I don't know any other instrument that does this, and it gives us an analysis of the three fundamentals of evaporative dry eye. We have the structure, the anatomy of the meibomian glands, we have the quality of the lipids itself, and then we have the dynamics of the lid action on the eye. Let's go back and look at the blepharitis. We actually imaged the base of the lash here. We can see in Mario's case the lash itself and the base of the lash is pretty clear and clean. So he doesn't have blepharitis. If there was blepharitis, we would see a little collarette or little squamous cells here at the base of the lash. Let's go back to the examinations. Demodex would be evidenced by these little areas here. You can see on the image there's like a collar, like the collar here on my neck. The collar at the base of the lash is called the cylindrical dandruff collarettes. If we have those, there's a very high likelihood, or in my case I believe 100% indication that Demodex is at the root of the lash, causing these collarettes to be formed. Okay, we can go back to the examinations, and if we save all this, we can go and see the examinations we've conducted on the left eye. Here we can explain to Mario, this is looking at the breaking up of the tears. We can see that the tears are breaking up a little bit early because you're not in the green zone, we're approaching the red area here. Your eye blink is in the green zone, so you're blinking and the motion of the eyes is complete and great. The lipid layer, the oils at the front surface of the eye, again are great. The meibomian glands that we see on the lower lid, the glands that produce the oils, are okay, but you have some loss. The quantity of the tears, the amount of volume of the tears is good, and we we could continue to do some of these other tests. We come over to the Bulbar Redness. Today your eyes, the blood vessels of the eyes are quite quiet. There's nothing untoward. There's no signs of inflammation within the white of the eye. So this gives us a great drop-down menu in terms of describing to yourself exactly what the condition of your eye is. If we said any of these were in the red, we could progress to a treatment option. The treatment option would give us a drop-down menu where we could create a prescribed treatment for you.